Now, accent is not enough to show that you are a fluent speaker. When it comes to children also, I have seen parents encouraging them to only... Now, you don't have to always imagine yourself speaking fluently like a native speaker. Of course, keep aside this native speaker, but fluent speaker. You need to look at the sentence structure. Today, people are so obsessed when it comes to... Am I being misguided? Am I in the right track? When I keep parameters, when I keep going... I want to fluently speak like a native. This is a common requirement amidst most of the learners. Speaking fluently is fine, but speaking fluently like a native, what is the meaning of that? Welcome to another video on my channel and thank you for joining me. This is Rini Rose Matthew. I'm a language trainer and also an author. Now, keeping aside all that, I thought of taking this particular requirement. Sometimes it comes as a comment, a request. I want to speak fluently like a native. Now, what is this? We always keep certain parameters when it comes to speaking fluently, and it's a wow when it comes to speaking fluently like a native, because we all get inspired by the flow, the fluency, the correct usage of words, grammar and all that, and we think it's perfect. Now let me give you some guidelines. We all have our native tongue. Some of you speak in Hindi. Native tongue differs. Malayalam, Telugu, Hindi, Marathi, whatever it is, Gujarati. We think that we are perfect with the language because we are quite comfortable. We imbibe our mother tongue. We don't have to teach the mother tongue because there is environment, and due to other factors, we are quite easy with the mother tongue. The same thing can be applied to natives. They imbibe their mother tongue. And most of the time, you should know that they have a proper flow. Yes, they are fluent. Sometimes they speak with pace. Okay, the conversation is spoken with high speed. And it's not necessary that you speak with speed to become a fluent speaker. But I'm just giving you some guidelines with reference to native speakers. And you say, oh, wow. But there's nothing known as perfect language. They also make errors. Just like how we make mistakes when it comes to our language, native speakers also make mistakes. But they're quite easy with it. They're not conscious about the grammar and things like that. They don't decide and tell themselves that, okay, I'm going to use advanced words in my language. I hope you are able to relate with how and when you speak in your own language. The first point is we can get inspired by the flow. And most of the time, they have correct phrases. The usages are correct. They make right sentences. They will also be able to express their thoughts, complicated thoughts also, very easily. Now remember, sometimes you can be really misguided when it comes to speaking fluently like a native. Is the accent enough? Many of them have got an accent. Now when they listen to us speaking in Hindi or any other language, they get fascinated because we speak with speed, the pronunciation is right, there's a kind of accent that we also follow when it comes to our language. Similarly, we get fascinated by their accent. They have dialects, they have differences in the way they speak, and we speak of the British accent, the American accent and all such things. Now, accent is not enough to show that you are a fluent speaker. When it comes to children also, I have seen parents encouraging them to only focus on the accent. Accent is not enough to decide whether a person is fluent or not. Even I come across such instances where people give importance only to accent. They are not bothered about the basics. Okay, of course you have the basics. It's not just grammar, but you have a lot of things that you have to work on. Accent alone doesn't make you speak fluently like a native speaker. Now, you don't have to always imagine yourself speaking fluently like a native speaker. Of course, we all get fascinated and influenced when you listen to native speakers, and of course they are the ones who have created it, or they are the ones who are quite familiar with it. We can put it that way. But we can have other goals, because sometimes some people speak better than the natives. I've heard a lot of people saying, oh, you speak better than us. The next point is vocabulary. Of course, the native speakers don't always use advanced words like how we always get obsessed. We focus only on the advanced words. We have a lot of people creating normal words, advanced words. It's okay to use normal words also, because you have to communicate and convey things, and that's why we have language. Now, advanced words when it comes to writing, and some people are quite interested in developing their words. So having a set of advanced words in your sentences will not make you sound like a native speaker, because they don't always use advanced words. They use the right word at the right time. Appropriate usage is important. It's not just filling some good and posh looking words or posh sounding words in your sentences that makes you a fluent speaker. Let's keep aside this native speaker but fluent speaker. You need to look at the sentence structure. What you're trying to communicate. Does it really make sense? Everything is important. The next is speaking with speed. So some people feel you just have to speak fast, and of course you will become fluent in the language, or you will sound like a native speaker. Native speakers are quite used to the language. They know the flow, they have the environment. Even people in India and other places, some good speakers of the language speak fast. That's their style. Even if you speak slow, it's fine, absolutely fine. There's no rule saying that you have to speak fast and then only you will sound like a fluent speaker. You can have your pace, because when you speak fast also people may not understand. Sometimes you have to go slow. Doesn't mean that you have to be like a snail, and that also doesn't mean that you have to be an express. Okay, so that's very important. It's not the pace that decides your fluency. It's of course the consistency of learning, the way you learn, the way you progress. Now don't worry about the mistakes that you make, because there's nothing known as perfect language. We also make mistakes when it comes to grammar while speaking in our native tongue. But today people are so obsessed when it comes to English. And when people listen to you speaking in a foreign tongue, they look for mistakes, because they want to just tell you that, oh, you're not good in English. They may not be really thorough. They may not be even able to speak a sentence in another language. I'm not only speaking about English. Of course, we need to work hard. But some errors are fine. Some mistakes are quite trivial, I will say. They are minute and they can be neglected. They're not very obvious. We all are working towards the development, the progress of our language. It's important to minimize your mistakes. I've already done a video titled There's No Perfect English. Please listen to that, watch that video. There are a lot of points given there. Now, when you say that I want to speak like a native speaker, you should think. Of course, it's good. We all get fascinated. We get inspired. We also become influenced. That's absolutely fine. But am I following the right guidelines? Am I being misguided? Am I in the right track? When I keep parameters, when I keep goals, when I aim towards something, am I making it too hard and too tacky? Am I putting so much of pressure on myself? Is also a point that you have to really consider. And remember, when you want to become fluent in English, you have to focus on reading, listening, speaking. That's very important. And of course, if you're interested, you have to also write. But these three parts are very important. It's not enough that you speak for 15 minutes or 20 minutes daily. You should know what you're doing. I hope all these guidelines help you, and thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye. Happy day.